I never thought I'd end up in a place like Smirk, surrounded by Wall Street sharks in tailored suits, their wives dripping in diamonds that screamed trophy. But there I was, on the arm of my husband, Jack Harlan, the golden boy of Harlan Financial, toasting to another quarter of record profits. The wine flowed like blood from a fresh wound, and the laughter was sharp, cutting through the crystal glasses. That's when it happened, right in the middle of the main course, as the foie gras melted on my tongue like forbidden sin. "Ellie? Honey," Jack slurred, his arms slung heavy around my shoulders. "Tell the boys here what you do for a living." "Oh wait, you don't. Do you?" "Just play housewife to the king." The table erupted. His boss, Victor Kane, the silver-haired fox who'd built the firm on the backs of broken men, leaned in with that predatory grin. "Useless as tits on a bowl. Isn't she, Jack? How do you stand it? I'd trade her in for a yacht that actually sails." I felt the heat rise, not in my cheeks, but in my gut. A slow burn that had been smoldering for 5 long years. The smirk spread like a virus, polite at first, then outright cruel, eyes raking over me like I was yesterday's trash. Useless. The word echoed the judge's gavel when they slapped me with fraud charges, the cell door clanging shut while Jack whispered promises through the glass. Useless. Because I'd taken the fall for his dirty deals, shielded him from the feds with a lie that cost me everything. My career in forensic accounting,
gone.
Our home,
Seized.
Our daughter, Lily God. Lily ripped away in the custody battle he won with lawyers fatter than his bonuses. I set down my fork, the clink louder than it should have been in that hush of anticipation. They waited for me to wilt, to blush and excuse myself to the powder room like the good little arm candy. Instead, I smiled slow, like cracking open a safe I'd rigged to blow. "Useless?" I said, my voice steady as the Hudson on a frozen morning. "Gentlemen, ladies, if I'm so useless, why did the SEC just unseal the Harlan files this afternoon? The ones showing how Jack here funneled $8 million through my name to offshore shells in the Caymans. The ones with my forged signature. Oh, wait. That's right. It wasn't forged. I signed them. To protect him. But protection's a two-way street. And his just ran out. The table froze. Jack's hand slipped from my shoulder like it had been burned. Victor's fork hovered midair, foie gras dripping onto his Hermes tie. I leaned forward, locking eyes with each of them, the interns who'd whispered about my nerves when I cracked under interrogation, the wives who'd sent pity casseroles laced with judgment. See, I did time for it. 3 years in Bedford Hills, learning how to spot a rat from the inside. And Jack, he got a promotion. But tonight,
Before the appetizers,
I uploaded every email, every wire transfer, every love note he sent his mistress, the one who works in compliance, ironically to WikiLeaks. With timestamps. With my affidavit. You're all witnesses now. To the man you toast as king?
he's finished.
And so are the bonuses built on his lies. Jack's face drained to the color of curdled cream. Ellie? What the fuck? But I was already standing. Napkin fluttering to the floor like a white flag of surrender he didn't deserve. The room spun into chaos, phones buzzing. Victor barking for the check. A wife gasping about ruined reputations. I walked out into the Manhattan night, the December chill biting like vindication, and lit a cigarette I'd bummed from the valet. Useless?
No.
I was the goddamn apocalypse they'd invited to dinner. That was 6 months ago. Or was it 7? Time blurs when you're dismantling an empire one brick at a time. But let's rewind, because revenge isn't a single gut punch, it's a slow poison, brewed in the dark corners of a soul that's been fractured just right. My name's Eleanor Ellie Harlan. It was Harlan. Now it's just Ellie Voss. The name on the lease of my one-bedroom in Hell's Kitchen, where the roaches throw better parties than Jack ever did. I grew up in a Rust Belt town outside Pittsburgh, daughter of a steelworker who drank himself into an early grave and a mom who stitched uniforms for pennies. I clawed my way to Columbia on scholarships and spite, double majoring in accounting and criminal justice because I wanted to nail bastards like my dad, not become their punchline. Jack? I met him at a forensic audit conference in Vegas, 2012. He was the hotshot from a boutique firm, all dimples and danger, buying rounds for the room while quoting Gordon Gekko like scripture. Greed is good, babe, he'd say, pulling me into alcoves that smelled of smoke and sin. We married fast, too fast, in a chapel off the strip, Elvis presiding in a jumpsuit that outshone my thrift store dress. Lily came 9 months later, a squalling bundle of joy that glued the cracks in our fairy tale. For a while, it worked. I consulted freelance, piecing together puzzles for firms too cheap for full-timers. Jack climbed, deal after deal, until Harlan Financial swallowed his old shop whole and spat out a corner office on the 52nd floor of One Penn. But cracks don't stay glued. It started with late nights, perfume on collars that wasn't mine. Then the whispers, clients getting jittery about irregularities. I noticed first the ledgers not balancing, the phantom transfers to accounts in my name. It's nothing, Elle, he'd say, eyes darting like a cornered fox. Just paperwork. Sign here. Keep the feds off our backs. I did. For Lily. For the house in Westchester with the white picket fence that hid the rot. For the lie that we were unbreakable. The bust came like a thunderclap in 19. Feds swarmed our home at dawn, Lily screaming in her unicorn pajamas as they cuffed me in the kitchen. Embezzlement. Wire fraud. Identity theft, the agent droned, reading from a script while Jack stood pale in his boxers, mumbling about a misunderstanding. I took the plea, 10 years, reduced to 3 for cooperation. Cooperation that painted me as the mastermind, the bored housewife gone rogue. Jack testified, voice cracking just enough to sell the betrayal. She changed after the baby, he told the court, dabbing at crocodile tears. Desperate for control, the jury ate it up. I got 18 months served plus probation. He got sympathy cards and a raise. Prison? It's where illusions die. Bedford Hills is in Oz. It's a concrete womb where women like me learn to sharpen spoons into shivs and secrets into weapons. I bunked with a lifer named Rosa, ex-cartel accountant who'd laundered more blood money than I'd ever touch. Mija, she'd rasp over contraband cigarettes. Betrayal's the real sentence. Serve it cold. She taught me codes, literal and figurative. How to smuggle data on microSDs hidden in tampons. How to trace blockchain ghosts without leaving fingerprints. And how to wait. God. The waiting. Letters from Lily dwindled to postcards. Jack's scrawl explaining court orders. Visits? Cancelled for scheduling. By release in 22. I was a ghost in my own life, divorced on paper, erased from the family album. Parole dropped me in a halfway house in the Bronx, with a $200 stipend and a job scrubbing toilets at a diner off Fordham Road. Jack, thriving. LinkedIn glow-up, Proud father navigating co-parenting challenges.
Challenges.
Like fucking his associate. Kendra, blonde. Ambitious. 28, with the kind of legs that climbed corporate ladders. I knew because I hacked his email from a library computer, using tricks Rosa whispered like prayers. Photos. Them in our old bed. Lily's drawings taped to the wall like mocking trophies. That's when the bruise started. Not rage, precision. I enrolled in night classes at CUNY. Forensic cyber certs under a false name. Day job? Waitressing paid cash. But the real work was nights, VPNs, dark web dives, piecing Jack's house of cards. The dinner invite came like manna from hell. Annual gala. The embossed card read. Spouses welcome.
Jack's doing.
I figured guilt or optics. Kendra was pregnant. The office buzz said. Time to play the dutiful ex. I bought the dress on credit. Black silk that hugged scars no one knew about. Makeup to hide the hollows under my eyes. And in my clutch, a burner phone with the upload queued, thumb hovering like Lady Macbeth's dagger. You know the rest, the hook, the punch. But that was just the appetizer. The real feast? Watching the fallout from my Hell's Kitchen perch. Nursing black coffee as headlines screamed, Harlan financial implodes, CFO's wife exposes decade of fraud. SEC raids at dawn. Victor Kane frog marched in cuffs. Sputtering about loyalty. Jack called, 57 voicemails. Escalating from pleas to threats. You'll never see Lily again. You bitch.
Oh.
But I would. The courts love a redemption arc. Especially when it's laced with evidence. It didn't stop there. Revenge is iterative. An algorithm refining its kill shot. Next target, Kendra. Not the baby god.
No.
Lines even I won't cross, but her facade. I leaked her bar exam transcripts to the alumni network, plagiarized papers, bought essays from a ghost site I traced. Compliance queen unmasked as a cheat. She miscarried the stress. Or so the gossip mills churned. Jack blamed me. Of course. Sued for defamation. His lawyers? The same firm that buried my appeals. I countersued with recordings, him admitting the forgeries in a drunken ramble I'd baited post-dinner. Settlement. $2 mill. Half to Lily's trust. The rest my war chest. But the darkness? It creeps. Nights when I'd wake sweating. Lily's face morphing into the judge's scowl. Was I saving her? Or scarring her? Jack's flip. He went public. Me Too for men, claiming I gaslit him into crime. Pundits ate it, Fox News panels debating, vindictive exes in the age of Believe Women. Sides split. Feminists cheering my takedown. Trads decrying family destroyer. I read the threads on X. Anonymous barbs like knives. She deserved jail. Look at her rap sheet. My rap sheet. One plea.
No prayers.
His sealed juvie for assault. Daddy's money scrubbing it clean. Deeper I dug. The uglier the secrets. Not just fraud, Jack's firm laundered for cartels. The kind Rosa knew intimately. A drive-by in Queens last spring? Retaliation for a skimmed shipment. Bodies in the river. Whispers of witnesses relocated. I'd borne the fall.
But the weight?
It crushed. One night, tailing him from a dive bar in Midtown, I saw him hand off an envelope to a ghost from my past, Tommy Ruiz. My ex from Pittsburgh, now a fixer with ink that screamed MS. 13. Jack's muscle. The realization hit like vertigo. He'd known about my Steeltown roots. Used them to bind me tighter. You're in too deep now. He'd said back then.
Deep y de dronat.
The plan evolved. No more leaks, too clean. I needed dirt under nails, the kind that sticks. Recruited Rose's niece, a hacker prodigy slinging code in Bushwick lofts. We mirrored Jack's servers, planted beacons in his phones. Evidence piled, payoffs to cops. Blackmail tapes of Victor with escorts half his age. But the gem? A video from 18 Jack, high on coke, beating me in our kitchen after I questioned a transfer. Lily's cries in the background. I'd hidden it, fearing worse for her. Now, fuel. Climax brewed in a warehouse on the Gowanus, that festering canal where Brooklyn buries its sins. Jack summoned me there. Truce talk, his text lied. Kendra 6 months along with number 2. Victor out on bail plotting countersuits. I went armed, not with guns, but truth serum from a pharmacologist contact, Rose's web. He arrived cocky, flanked by Tommy, reeking of bourbon and bravado. You win.
Él.
Half the firm's yours if you recant. I laughed, the sound echoing off rusted beams. Win? This isn't chess.
Jack.
It's checkers with loaded dice. That's when I played the video on a projector rigged to his car battery, our kitchen nightmare. His fists blurring. My pleas. Tommy shifted. Uncomfortable. He'd been the friend who looked away. Jack lunged, but the serum was in his scotch, sipped casual-like. Truth spilled, the cartels, the hits, how he'd framed me not just for money, but to cover a murder. Our neighbor, old Mr. Patel, who'd seen too much from his fire escape, pushed him.
Él.
Looked like suicide. You were the patsy, your prints on the railing from that barbecue. The room tilted. Murder. I'd shielded a killer. Kendra burst and then dramatic. Her water breaking premature, screaming betrayal. Sides fractured, her loyalty to Jack cracking as the video looped. Tommy? He bolted. But not before I slipped him a drive, immunity deal with the DA. His ticket out. Jack babbled. Serum loosening tongues. I loved you.
Once.
But power. It's hungrier. Cops swarmed, my anonymous tip. Timed, perfect. Jack cuffed. Kendra wailing in an ambulance. Victor's empire crumbling in real-time trades. I walked free. Lily waiting in foster care, courts fast-tracking reunification now that Daddy was the monster.
But the twist?
As sirens wailed. Jack's last whisper through the chaos. The baby's not mine.
Él.
It's Tommy's. Your revenge? You just orphaned your own blood. Debate fodder. Did I destroy innocence? Kendra's grief. Lily's fractured world. Collateral in my war? Or was it justice? Unearthing rot that festered under American dreams? I claimed Lily that spring. Our new start in a Jersey suburb. Therapy sessions unpacking the lies. Jack, life without parole. Singing to feds for leniency. Victor, suicided in his cell, convenient. Or karma, useless? Never again. But in quiet moments, watching Lily sleep, I wonder, who's the villain in this mirror? The betrayed? Or the avenger who blurred the lines? Hell's Kitchen wasn't home. It was a holding pen. A limbo where ex-cons like me learned to breathe without choking on regret. The apartment smelled of mildew and takeout grease. Walls thin enough to hear the couple next door scripting their own domestic thriller.
Y de Liechtenstein a Waka.
Staring at water stains that mapped constellations of what-ifs. What if I'd walked away in Vegas? What if I'd burned the ledgers instead of signing? But what-ifs are for suckers. I had a ledger of my own now, digital and damning. Open on my ancient laptop bought from a pawn shop on 9th Avenue. Morning started at dawn. The diner's fluorescent buzz chasing sleep away. Order up. Voss. Manny, the owner, barked, Greek immigrant with a mustache like a broom and a heart softer than his baklava. I slung plates of eggs over easy to truckers and junkies, pockets jingling with tips that funded my real education. CUNY's Extension campus was a squat brick building off Broadway, classrooms packed with dreamers and dropouts. Professor Hale, a wiry ex-FBI type with a bum knee from a botched stakeout, taught cyber forensics like it was holy writ. Data's the new blood, he'd say, diagramming packet sniffers on the board. Follow it, and it leads you to the throat. I aced his midterms, anonymous in the back row as Elena Voss, maiden name dusted off like an old coat. Classmates chattered about big tech gigs. I nodded, hiding the fire that classes couldn't touch. Evenings were for the library, 9th Street branch, where homeless vets nursed coffees and I burrowed into carols with VPN proxies. Jack's email was child's play, weak password. Lily Harlan one. Changed post-divorce, but not the backups I'd mirrored years back. Folders spilled secrets, Kendra_confidential, photos time-stamped to our anniversary. Her, lithe, laughing, belly swelling. Him, tender, the mask I'd forgotten he owned. Rage? It came in waves, not tsunamis. I'd pause mid-keystroke, breath hitching at Lily's school pics forwarded by a sympathetic cousin, gapped teeth. Braids I'd never retie. 8 now. Trusting a father who'd sold her out for a corner office. That's when I'd pivot to the hunt, tracing wire paths through shell core in Panama. Nodes lighting up like a predator's map. Harlan Financial's core, run, propped by laundered cash from south of the border. Victor Kane's innovation, ethical arbitrage, he'd pitched to investors. Code for greasing palms in Juarez. My first real score was small but sweet, a memo from 20. Jack greenlighting a facilitation fee to a border fixer for expedited shipments. Attached, manifests for precursor chems. The kind that cooked into meth for Kansas City streets. I bookmarked it, heart pounding like a jackhammer. Not enough for feds, plausible deniability, but fuel for the fire. Then came the gala invite. Gold-embossed envelope slid under my door by a courier who wouldn't meet my eyes. Jack's handwriting on the RSVP card. Miss you.
El.
Bring your smile.
Smile.
The one I'd faked through court. Through conjugals denied. I pawned Grand's locket for the dress, Vera Wong knockoff from a Canal Street bin. But it fit like vengeance. Makeup at the YWCA mirror. Lips blood red to match the ledger in my mind. The burner? Prepaid from a bodega. Upload scripted in Python. Hale's homework twisted dark. WikiLeaks drop queued to a dead man switch. If my vitals flatlined. Dramatic. But Jack's world bred paranoia. It fired anyway. Le Cirque was a fever dream. Chandeliers dripping light like liquid gold. Waiters gliding silent as sharks. Jack spotted me across the foyer. Kendra on his arm in emerald silk that screamed successor. Her hand on his elbow. Proprietary. Lily, home with a sitter. Or so he lied later. Ellie, he boomed, pulling me into a hug that reeked of cologne and conquest. You look radiant. Kendra's smile didn't reach her eyes, blue. Calculating. The kind that audited souls. Seated at the head table. Victor holding court with war stories. Bailed out Detroit in '08. Heroes. Us quants. Laughter rippled. Champagne popping like gunfire. I sipped water, playing the ghost. Then the toast to Jack, the wizard behind the curtain. That's when it turned. A junior VP, slick-haired Chad from Wharton, leaned in. So, Ellie, what's your secret? How do you keep up with this genius? Snickers. Jack chuckled. Egging. She doesn't.
Chad.
Keeps the home fires burning, literally. Last time she tried pasta, the table howled. Victor, Jack's too kind. What's a little arson between friends? Useless. The word hung. Invisible noose. Kendra tittered. Hand on her bump. 3 months. I'd clocked from the pics. My fork bent in my grip.
Time.
I rose slow, glass raised. To wizards, I said, voice carrying like smoke. May their curtains catch fire. Pauses stretched. Then the drop, my words from the hook. The upload live. Pings confirming from the cloud. Chaos bloomed, Victor's phone vibrating off the table. Jack's face crumpling like wet newsprint. What have you done? He hissed, grabbing my wrist. Bruise tomorrow, but worth it. Protected myself, I whispered back. Like you never did.
Outside.
The valet smirked, knew the score.
Cigarette lit.
I exhaled into the wind whipping down 58th. First call. To Hale. Anonymous tip line. Harlan's got cartel ties. Start with the memos. He grunted. Recognized the cadence? Second. To Rose's niece. Lupe, in her Bushwick lair. Phase 2 mirrors. Her laugh. Pixelated. Tia said you'd call. Mija. Servers syncing now. Fallout hit like monsoon. CNBC loop by midnight. Whistleblower wife torpedoes finance titan. Protests outside 1 Pen. Occupy 2.0. Signs reading Eat the Rich. Starting with Harlan. Jack holed up in the Westchester house. Our house. Foreclosed but squatted. I drove by once. Dawn patrol. Saw Kendra pacing the porch. Phone to ear. Belly silhouetted against sodium lights. Pity flickered brief. Extinguished. She'd chosen the throne. My diner shift next day? Buzz Central. Patrons slapping bills down. Heard about your ex? Ballsy. Manny poured free coffee. Mustache twitching pride. But the dark? It shadowed. Parole officer called, routine check. But eyes sharp. Stay clean. Voss.
Clean.
As if ink on cuffs wash souls. Nights deepened the dive. Lupe's feed streamed, boardroom meltdowns. Victor shredding files in a panic. Jack's browser history? Searches for defamation suits against ex-wives. How to disappear assets. I countered. Anonymous posts to Glassdoor. Harlan. Toxic culture. Fraud rampant. Reviews tanked. Headhunters ghosted. Then the flip, Jack's counterpunch. Press conference. Tear-streaked. My ex is unstable. Seeking revenge for a marriage she destroyed. Clips of me in court. Hysterical per the transcript. Pundits piled. CNN's Empowered Woman or Vengeful Harpy. Fox. Feminazi ruins family man. X threads exploded. Justice for Jack trending. Doxers hunting my halfway address. I moved. Sublet cash only. Knife under pillow, now standard. Lily's first contact post drop. A drawing slipped by a cousin. Crayon house with 2 stick figures, me and her. Labeled Mommy Home. Tears then. Hot and useless. I vowed. Endgame for her. Trace the cartels next. Sinaloa echoes in the manifests. Tommy Ruiz surfaced in obits. Pittsburgh enforcer found in Allegheny River. Blunt force. Jack's doing? Or mine? Indirect? Where house meat loomed, baited by his truce text. I prepped. Serum vial and garter. Recorder pinned to lace. Drove the borrowed Civic. Radio crackling Springsteen. Darkness on the edge of town. Fitting requiem. Gowanus loomed. Black water slurping at pilings like hungry tongues. Jack waited under a bare bulb. Tommy's shadow long.
Ellie.
Let's talk sense.
Sense.
The word that started it all. The warehouse air hung thick with diesel and decay. The kind of stench that clings to your skin like accusation. Rusted girders overhead dripped condensation, plinking into puddles that mirrored the sodium lamp's jaundiced glow. Jack paced, loafers scuffing concrete scarred by forklift ghosts. Tommy leaned against a crate stamped Fragile, Panama, arms crossed over a chest inked with saints and sinners. His eyes, dark, unreadable, flicked to me, recognition sparking. Voss, he grunted, Pittsburgh flat in the vowels. Long time, Tommy. My voice echoed cool. But inside, gears ground. We dated in college, me studying, him slinging for the Mills bookies. Rough trade, but honest then. Broke bad after graduation. Vanished south. Now here, Jack Stoberman. You look good. Retirement agree. Jack snorted, stopping short. Cut the nostalgia. This ends tonight.
El.
Recant the leaks. Sign the NDA. We co-parent like adults. He slid a folder across a makeshift table, oil drum topped with plywood. Inside, custody papers. Lily's face smiling from a recent school pic. Bait. Obvious as a hook and chum. I flipped through. Fingers steady. Adults? Like when you testified I was the mastermind? Or when you drained the accounts while I rotted? The serum burned against my thigh. Waiting. Lupe's feed buzzed silent in my earpiece. Cameras live. Feds looped in on delay. He flushed. Adams apple bobbing. You signed. Ellie. Willingly. For us.
Us.
The lie that birthed Lily. Now weaponized. Tommy shifted. Uncomfortable, knew the kitchen video. Perhaps witnessed worse. Willingly, I echoed. Pouring the scotch from a flask I'd brought. Peace offering. He swigged. Trusting fool. Like you willingly pushed Patel off his fire escape? Foreseeing the drop-off in our driveway. Jack choked. Liquor spraying. Tommy straightened. Hand twitching toward hip. What the fuck? Truth serum, I said casual. Nodding to the flask. Rose's recipe, cartel grade. Loosens tongues. Not bowels. Ask him, Tommy, about the neighbor who suicided after spotting your truck. Jack clawed the table. Eyes bulging.
Bitch.
You poisoned. Words slurred. Serum kicking. He slumped. Babbling. Patel saw. The van. The bags. Had to. Victor's orders. Clean slate for the IPO. Tommy's face cracked, betrayal raw. You said accident. Harlan. Push in a struggle. Saints on his knuckles flexed white. I pressed play on the hidden projector. Battery whine. Then our kitchen 18. Jack's roar. My head cracking cabinet. Lily's wail from the hall. Mommy bad, her voice piped. The men froze. Projections dancing shadows like demons. Kendra's arrival shattered the tableau, door banging open. Her in a cab from a city. Contractions hitting early.
Jack.
The baby's coming. Oh God. She doubled over. Spotting the scene, me poised. Jack frothing truths. What is this? Truth, I said, stepping back. Sides split visceral, Kendra's hand on bump, eyes darting between monster and maybe savior. Tommy bolted for the exit. Drive in my palm. Feds waiting.
Tommy.
Testify. Walk. Sirens wailed distant. Closing. Jack lunged feeble. Serum sapping. The kid. Not mine. Tommy's. Your revenge. Orphans her. Kendra screamed. Water pooling, shock or labor. Ambulance lights flashed external. Fed swarming. Cuffs clicked. Statements taken in the chaos. I rode with her to Methodist. Anonymous donor. Tell her Ellie's sorry. Lily collected next dawn. Social workers nod. Clean record now. Dennis.
Voss.
She's yours. But the twist festered. DNA later confirmed Tommy's spawn. Conceived in Jack's blind spot. Kendra kept it, naming her Elena, twist of the knife. Debates raged. My leaks saved lives from cartel bleed. But cost Kendra's world? Forum split. Hero exposes evil versus vindictive cunt destroys families. Months blurred to settlement. Victor's suicide. Pills in Attica. Note blaming the wife. Clean. Too clean. I claim the house back. Lily's room untouched. Unicorns faded. Therapy. Anger as armor. Ellie. Shed it. But armor saved me. One night. Lily asked, Daddy bad? I hugged tight. Complicated? Bug. But we're good. Good. In America's gray. It's the best revenge.
No, wait.
The real end? Lupe's call. Years on. Another Harlan shell cracked. You're doing? I smiled into Jersey dark. Useless? Legends don't fade. Before the warehouse. Before the serum's bitter bloom. There was Pittsburgh, the steel cradle that forged me hard. Summers 95. Air thick with mill smoke. Dad's shift whistle piercing like judgment. Ellie girl. Numbers don't lie. He'd slur post-layoff. Ledger open on the Formica table. Betting slips fluttering like defeated flags. Mom stitched in silence. Needle pricking fingers bloody. I learned early. Trust facts, not faces. High school, valedictorian bait. AP Calc my confessional. Tommy Ruiz crashed in junior year. Leather jacket. Eyes like coal fires. Teaching me pool sharks in the VFW basement. Life's a hustle. Vossera, he'd grin. Chalking cue. First kiss tasted of spearmint and rebellion. Under bleachers where the river whispered sins. College split us, me to Columbia on Pell Grants, him to the streets. Family business vague as fog. NYC swallowed me whole. Audits for Deloitte. Spreadsheets bleeding red for CEOs who'd jump before admitting fault. Jack at that conference, keynote on derivatives. Then bar. His hand on my knee under the table. You're sharp.
El.
Sharper than these hacks. Honeymoon in Napa. Vows in a vineyard. Lily conceived under stars that lied eternal. Cracks. 15. First, irregularity. Client funds vanishing. Reappearing in consulting fees. Jack's explanation. Creative accounting. Keeps us liquid. I signed off. Stomach nodded. Lily's first steps in the office. Coups echoing deal closes. Then 17. Patel's wave from the fire escape, nosy retiree with binoculars and a nose for trouble. The push. I heard the thud from bed. 2 a.m. Jack's fuck hissed low. Suicide, he said later. Cops buying the despondent widower tale. My prince? From grilling kebabs days prior. Guilt gnawed. I joked about his prying. Bus 19. Feds dawn raid. Lily screams my requiem. Court. Jack's testimony a scalpel. Carving me villain. She handled the books. Your Honor. Obsessive. Jury. White collars. Suburban. Nodded empathy. Sentence. 3 years. A mercy. Bedford. Intake strip search cold as betrayal. Rosa bunked upper. Tattoos mapping narco wars. What did he do?
Mia.
Knights of Whispers. Her ledgers for Sinaloa. Mine for Harlan. Men like that? They eat loyalty. Shit excuses. Release 22. Half-waist cinderblock purgatory. Rules choking tighter than bars. Diner grind. Tips for Lupe's intro. Rosa's dying wish. Find my Nina. Teach her. Lupe. Pixie cut. Tattoos glowing under blacklight. Coding viruses in a loft that smelled of ramen and revolution. Tia said you're fire. Show me. Hale's class. First A in years. His office hour nod. Potential.
Was.
FBI material. If only. Gala prep. Burner scripted. Dead man live. Dinner's mockery fuel doused. Post-drop. Storm's eye. Jack's voicemails. Please.
Él.
Lily needs stability. Stability, his word for control. Kendra's Insta. Bump glow. Captions blessed. I hacked deeper. Her emails to HR. Angling for Jack's seat. Counter. Glassdoor blitz. Lupe's bots amplifying. Headhunters fled. Stock dipped 12%. Jack's presser. Tears Oscar-worthy. PTSD from her rages. Clips viral. Stan with Jack. Doxers. My diner's address. Bricks through windows. Manny's shotgun bark scattering them. Move to kitchen sublet. Knife lessons from YouTube. Lily's drawing, lifeline. Warehouse bait, his text.
Truce.
Gowanus. 10 p.m. Lupe. Mike's hot. Feds on speed dial. Entry. Shadows swallow. Tommy's Voss a ghost echo.
Sérum pour.
Truth spill. Patel's murder. Cartel's grip. Video plays. Fists on film. Kendra's burst. Labor's flood. Accusations flying. Tommy's flight. Drive gifted. Jack's whisper. Baby Tommy's. Feds crash.
Cuffs sing.
After. Lily's hug. Small arms fierce. Missed you. Mommy. But nights? Tommy's obit haunts. Jack's cleanup? Kendra's Elena. My namesake. Irony's barb. Victor's pills. Suicide or silenced. Debate. My hands clean. Or stained proxy. I choose Lily's laugh. Rest be damned. Gowanus aftermath. Headline screamed, Finance empire crumbles in warehouse showdown. Feds hauled Jack and Tommy in Dawn's gray. Kendra stretchered to screams that echoed my own in 19. I slipped the scene like smoke. Civic's engine coughing anonymity. Lupe's voice in earpiece. Clean exit. Reina. Feeds archived. Back to kitchen. Adrenaline crash hit hard. Shakes over sink. Coffee bitter as regret. Lily's drawing taped to fridge. 2 figures. Sun huge and hopeful. I traced her lines, wondering if vengeance painted her world gray. Next day's media circus. CNN doorstep the diner. Mics thrust like spears. MS. Voss. Did you orchestrate this? Manny body blocked. No comment. Assholes, eat your omelets. I worked shadows. Bussing tables silent. Ears tuned to whispers. That's her. The wife who torched it all. Parole board called. Emergency hearing. Oak-paneled room downtown. Suits eyeing my file like meat. Vigilantism risks violation. S. Voss. I met gazes steady. Justice. Not revenge. Evidence submitted. Affidavit packet. Warehouse audio. Video timestamps. They nodded. Probation extended, but no revoke. Stay the course. Course? Lupe's loft became war room, servers humming in a corner festooned with protest posters. Defund the banks. She brewed mate strong. Eyes alight. Jack's singing plea deal. Rotting Victor's ghosts. Ghosts, cartel mules, ghost-ridden memos. Feds unraveled threads. Indictments dropping like dominoes. Kendra's hospital vigil. Tabloids feasted. Pregnant mistress caught in crossfire. Baby Elena born premature. NICU fragile. Her call came week 2. Number blocked but Lupe traced. Why? Ellie? He was changing. Changing. Jack's perennial lie. For Lily, I said. And any kid deserves truth over toxins. She hung up sobbing. Pity? Fleeting. Her plagiarism leak? Karma's echo. Not mine. Lily's reunification. Supervised visits first. Park benches in Riverside. Her chatter of school plays and daddy's sad now. Heart twisted. His poison lingered. Full custody granted month 4. Judge citing maternal rehabilitation. Westchester house auction cheap. I bought with settlement scraps. Lily's room repainted pink. Unicorns fresh. Therapy, DR. Liang's office smelled of chamomile. Her questions scalpels gentle. Anger as teacher. Eleanor. What does it teach? Vengeance. I admitted. That power's illusion. But protection? Real. Nights. Though, canal dreams. Gowanus black. Patel's face surfacing. Eyes accusing. You knew, they whispered. Did I? The barbecue grill. My hands on rail. Innocent then. Jack's accident tail swallowed whole. Twist deepened. Tommy's trial. Immunity bought. His testimony. Harlan pushed Patel. Clean up for the shipment. I drove. But sidebar. Our Pittsburgh days. Him warning stay clean.
Elle.
Guilt? He'd recruited me indirect. Through Jack's old friend intros. Kendra flipped. Sued Jack's estate for fraud. Elena's trust ceded by my leaks. Ella. Her coffee invite. Neutral ground in a Tribeca cafe. Bump gone. Exhaustion etched. He lied to us both. Truce tentative. Playdates for the girls, Lily and Elena. Ironies entwined. Debates raged eternal. Podcast dissecting Ellie Voss, saint or serpent. Listeners split. She exposed systemic rot versus vigilante justice endangers kids. X-Wars. My handle at LedgerGhost trending. Bots amplifying both. Victor's death. Pills confirmed. But Lupe's hack. Suicide note forged. Timestamps off. Silenced? By whom? Cartel remnants? Or Jack's last play from lockup? I chose Jersey. Small house off the turnpike. Lily's school runs my rhythm. But the ledger? Never closed. One eve. Burner buzz, anonymous. More shells. Your move. Lupe's grin in text. Legacy. Reina. Useless?
No.
Architect. Jersey life settled uneasy. A veneer over fractures. Lily's laughter filled the bungalow, playsets in the yard. Bedtime stories of brave mommies. But mirrors lied, my reflection gaunt. Eyes holding Gowanus shadows.
Dr.
Liang probed. Forgiveness? Eleanor, not for them.
For you.
Forgive Jack? The man who'd orphaned us twice. Once in court. Once in whispers. Settlement wired. $2 mill. Lawyers cut slim. Half to Lily's $5.29. The rest? War chest seated. Lupe and I pivoted, non-profit shell. Transparent ledgers, auditing small firms pro bono. Front, idealism. Real, sniffing Harlan echoes. Victor's old boys clubbing in Hampton's hides. Jack's appeals dragged. Attica visits denied. But letters slipped through, crayon-thin script on lined paper. I was weak.
Elle.
Forgive for Lily.
Weak.
The word that mocked me at dinner. I burned them in the backyard pit. Flames dancing like the gala's chaos. Kendra's alliance bloomed odd, playgroup coffees. Elena's gurgles mingling with Lily's songs. He groomed me, she confessed once.
Over Chardonnay that tasted like ash.
Promised the firm. Groomed, like me. Vegas bait. Our girls, half-sisters unknowing, bridged the gulf. Tommy's freedom, witness protection, new name in witness safaris. His postcard, unsigned, Wyoming postmark, clean now. Thanks. Vasera.
Clean.
The dream I'd chased. Media faded, but scars itched. A Vanity Fair profile, the woman who toppled titans. Pose shots in the house. Lily blurred. Backlash. Trolls claiming staged. Deep fake video. Fake Ellie trended. Doc's redux. Manny called. Diner's got your back.
Kid.
Omelets on me. Deeper dive. Victor's suicide nod. Lupe cracked estate files. Beneficiary. Shell in Liechtenstein. Funds tracing to Sinaloa ghosts. Silence for snitching? Or Jack's final flip? Estate poison-pilled? Climax echo. Boardroom bust. Harlan remnants indicted. My testimony, remote. Voice modulated. Follow the wires. Gavel fell. Empire's dust. Twists debate. Podcast host grilled. Collateral, Kendra's trauma. Kids' loss. Worth it. I paused. Rot festers. Excise or infect all? Lily's question. Age 10. Were you bad in jail? Truth serum of my own. Mistaken. But learned good. Ending? No tidy bow. Jack's death. Heart attack. 28. Rumors of Shiv in the yard. Kendra remarried. Elena calling me Auntie L. Lupe's firm. We audit now. Legally. Legends whispered. Useless?
Myth.
I built from ash family. Justice. Gray be damned. Budding quiet. Canal whispers. Who's next? Years wove forward. Jersey roots deepening. Lily bloomed, soccer star. Braces gleaming. Crushes confessed over pizza. You're my hero. Mom, she'd say. Oblivious to Ledger's weight. Elena visits, sleepovers giggling secrets. Kendra's thanks, laced gratitude and ghost pain. Transparent ledgers thrived NYC office. Staff of ex-cons turned auditors. Lupe CEO. Her tattoos boardroom badges. We nailed a crypto scam 30. Headlines echoing gala ghosts. Voss legacy continues. Jack's obit. Small print.
Financier.
52. No service. family shunned. Lily cried once, then boxed it. He wasn't good. Tommy Surface 32, bar in Cheyenne. Grizzled but grinning. Heard your queen now. Beers shared. Stories swapped. His protection life. My rebuild. You saved me.
Él.
From him. From me. Victor's puzzle solved late. Lupe's deep dive. Cartel hit by a prison mule. Note forged post-mortem.
Cover.
Debates endured. Doca Series 35. Betrayed. The Harlan Fall. Me interviewed. Raw. Revenge. Survival.
Sides.
Blurry as justice. Twists core. Elena's DNA test. School project. Matches mine closer than Kendra's tale. Jack knew. Lied to fracture. My blood. His final cut. Kendra's rage. Alliance shattered. But forgiveness circled. He poisoned us all. Ending by tragic. Empires fallen. Families mended crooked. Lily weds 40. Me walking aisle. Scars hidden under silk. Useless? Echo laughs. I wove the tapestry. Dark threads. Bright ends. Decades close the book. But ledgers linger. Lily's kids, my grandbabies toddling Jersey lawns. Unicorns in their nursery echoing ghosts. Elena ants fierce. Kendra's peace hard-won in therapy circles. Transparent global now. Busting oligarchs from afar. Lupe retires 50. Handing reins. Your fire. Reina. Jack Shadow. Faded photo in attic. Lily's mercy. Tommy's yearly cards. Clean skies. Victor's echo. Museum plaque. Reformer or rogue? Debates eternal. My quote etched. Truth doesn't pick sides. It buries them. Twist resolved. Elena's my niece true. Tommy's sister. Family not untangled. Laughter over it now. Wines shared. Ending. Happy by. Gray one. On porch swing. Sunset bleeding Hudson red. I close eyes. Useless? Never. Apocalypse invited. But I brought the dawn. The smirks? Wiped eternal.